What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking the first episode of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But before we get into all of that, Dave, Comma Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I gotta tell you, I am fan freaking tastic now that my day is over, and it was kind of a hectic last hour, but I'm glad to be sitting here and talking about this weird new show, in my opinion. I guess we'll get into that in a minute, but it's not that I don't like it; it's just that it's weird. Okay,
Should we say
we'll go
different
with that.
from the other shows set in this?
Definitely different. I would say yes, definitely different. We have Lyonel Baratheon with us. I was going to ask Doug how he's doing, but he's not here. So how are you doing, Lyonel?
I'm actually Lionel's younger brother, fourth in line to the Baratheon lordship. My name is Diddler
Whoa!
Baratheon, and I love a good cup of wine. No, I had to break out the old Game of Thrones thing. I I used to even have, seriously, I kid you not. I had like a whole sword and everything. I used to dress up and go to the Renaissance fair, and I got this kid you not from like just a regular Halloween store, and I saw that, and I think it said like royal crown. I'm like, that's a Baratheon crown. I got to get that. And when I saw that, he was one of the stars of tonight's episode, which we'll be talking about later on, I was like, have to. So, yes, your royal lordship, Sir Douglas is here to talk about some Duncan egg. But before we get into that, Keith, how are you doing?
Gentlemen, I am tremendous. Not only did we get a new Game of Thrones esque show in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we got another Fallout episode coming in just like 2 days. You know, excited about all the nerdy stuff going on, but let's maybe get into this episode. Let me put the right little picture up. There we go. So we got the first episode of season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. We know this is a show based on some short stories, not short stories per se, but I don't even know what to call them.
Novellas, I think is the right
Novellas.
word.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the right word. That George R. R. Martin wrote in this universe about two characters, Dunk and Egg. Sir Duncan the Tall and Aemon Targaryen.
Dunking the egg.
Dunk,
That's what
Sure.
that sounds like.
I know, Dunk and, I'll pronounce my D a little better, Egg.
I
Wait,
wonder if he planned that. Egg Duncan.
he probably was like, that's pretty funny.
Right. As he's looking at his hard-boiled egg on his plate, like, I should make a book about that.
I should write about Dunkin' eggs.
But speaking of Sir Duncan the Tall, this episode starts out with him burying his knight. Basically, he was a squire for Ser Arlan of Pennytree. Did that remind any of you of Pennyworth? I'm like, oh my god, are they going Alfred on us right here? What is going on?
No,
You know,
because clearly that night was nothing like Alfred.
no.
No, he was not.
Now, when this opened up, my initial thought, I'm like, oh wow, cool. We're getting another like, big, dramatic, awesome entry in the Game of Thrones universe, and it's already starting off on something depressing, and there, he's burying his fallen knight. And then it like immediately transitions into God, I don't even know how to describe the music. It was very upbeat, almost with rock motifs mixed in, intermingled with this like medieval music, accompanied by shitting behind a tree. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
and Game of Thrones has always been a little graphic, but that was over the top for me. I didn't want to see that.
I think, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong, because I did not look into anything before I sat down to watch this. I actually have not read the books that these are based on, so I went in completely blind. But my guess is either this is exactly how the books are as well, Or maybe HBO is just trying to add more of a comedic version of a Game of Thrones show, because I think that's what they're trying to show us right out, from the get-go. This is going to have a lot more comedic elements than what you're used to.
I
That's
don't.
the that's what I was referring to. Go ahead, Keith.
I was just gonna say, like you guys, I was not expecting to see that scene, and I was kind of thrown back. Like,
Right.
okay,
The music is building. I'm like, oh my, he's gonna go on his. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I guess this isn't gonna be a big dramatic moment. Okay.
I didn't know if that was some sort of sign, him seeing the robin and the tree or two, whatever. I'm like, okay, does this play into it? And then obviously, he's traveling towards that tournament, and he shows up at the inn, and he thinks Egg is just like the stable boy.
Right.
And I really am enjoying how they're starting Sir Duncan out as just a brand new knight. He's like a first level character you start in a role playing game. He's kind of familiar, but he's always had his knight with him to do all this stuff, and now he's kind of in charge. And you just see him, just kind of saying crazy, I shouldn't say crazy things, just kind of different things I don't think people expect. Like he's talking to his horses before he left, and he's like, man, if I sold you 3, I could eat like a king for a year or so.
For a year or two.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And then it'd be back to begging, so that doesn't make sense.
and when he sees Egg, he's like, hey, I need all 3 wrapped down if you want. He goes, I could if I wanted to. He's like, don't make me cuff your ear, boy. But he said it like, don't make me cuff your ear. He was like, kind of like, I'm supposed to sound tough because I'm a knight, but it wasn't really. He wasn't really into it because, he talks.
I didn't like when I got my head pounded, so I don't want to have to do it to you, but it's really the only thing I know.
He only hit me when I really deserved it. They just show all these times, and I'm like,
And then a montage. I love that. We get a montage of beatings. Well, and then there was that one time. Oh, but then there was also that other time.
oh, and this time. But Egg is taking care of the horses as far as we know, and he goes into the inn to eat. And it's funny because they keep making jokes about how tall he is. Because he's like, I'll have both. She's like, yeah, you could probably eat it both or whatever. And the guy who was passed out at the table near him gets up and says, I forgot to write down what he said, but he says, get out of my dreams or something like,
Yeah.
you're.
Get into my car. He's Billy Ocean. No, I think he said, I saw you in my dream. And then he said, get out of here right now. And then yeah.
And then he drunkenly stumbled back upstairs.
And the barmaid was freaked out enough where she took action. Go ahead.
Which I don't, once again, I don't know if that's going to come into play. I do know some things about these characters in this, and I do know where Dunk ends up at the end of the books. So it would be interesting to see if we find out who that character was, because we're never told who it is. We don't know really who it was, but obviously he's had visions of Sir Dunk the Tall. So he ends up going out to get his horses, and Egg is sitting on his horse in armor, playing the knight.
I love the audacity. Like, what are you doing? People don't do this. No.
That's what I mean. It's just like none of this is expected, and it really threw me off. It really did. I don't know if it's my fault or if it's the show's fault, but like I was saying to Keith right before we went out, I don't know. It probably could grow on me. Like,
I think it's our fault because I'm pretty sure you had very similar expectations that I did. Again, you're comparing it to other Game of Thrones media, and
yes,
this is not like those. This is more like again, it's more like almost it's not quite a parody, but it's definitely a not as serious take. It's like it's set in the same universe, but no one is being serious.
It's very lighthearted. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Lighthearted. That's a good descriptor.
They don't read it like it's lighthearted. What they're saying is, and their situations are lighthearted, but the way they're talking is still like Game of Thronesy. So I'm like, should I take this serious or not? I don't know. I still don't know.
I decided not to after the Keith will talk about it in a moment, but there was another instance where they had to make sure that we knew that he was very tall, and at that point I'm like, okay, do not take this show as serious as the other Game of Thrones material.
And I do think it will get serious, but I like the banter that we're getting between Dunk and Egg. You know, we know it's going to be almost like a buddy cop film or something through this now. Yeah. And just hearing them talk back and forth, because you know, Egg is much more than he has led on to be. You know, Dunk just thinks he's some, you know, little kid or whatever who's running away from an inn, but we know otherwise. We know his true heritage. He's, you know, he's of the House of the Dragon, and it's going to come into play at some point. I have a theory on when I think it's going to, but you know.
See, that's what I was going to say when he came out of the inn and, you know, he found him like that. He goes, don't you need to check with your mom? He goes, that's not my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, I'm from King's Landing. And he says, oh, you know, so they're laying out the
he goes, oh, Flea Bottom.
Right, and he's like, are you from Flea Bottom? No. I'm from, you know, okay. They're laying it out for us in case you didn't know.
Also, the other giveaway should have been when he goes into the tavern, and you know, the tavern lady says, "Did my son find you? Did my boy find you?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, he's good. He's there." Or did he run off again? No, he's good. He took care of the horses, only to find out that's not her son.
Not him.
Her son ran off again. Which now I'm wondering, now are we going to meet her actual son at some point?
Probably.
Nah.
But Dunk ends up going, you know, to Ashford, and he goes to talk to the head of the games. And as he's walking in, he smacks his head on the door.
Again.
Which...
Did you know he's tall?
I just kind of laughed. Like, he's not used to being indoors. He's, you know, a hedge knight. He lives in the bushes or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's funny. And then when he did it walking out again, I'm just like, oh boy. But they're doing a very good job, I think, of showing how naive he really is. You know, when the game master was like, oh my God, we'll tie you up and we'll get like a stick and we'll drop you on it. And it's called the Ashford chair. And he's like, oh my God, he's like, I'm just kidding you, dude. What? Do you think that's real?
That sounds like a real thing that would be in Game of Thrones, too. Like, I could imagine the, you know, what? Oh my gosh, what's the one dude where they used to put people on the crosses, essentially. What was that family?
The
God, I can't remember them now. But anyway, I'm thinking, you know, immediately that's where my mind goes, and I'm like, of course that's something they would do in the world of Game of Thrones. And for him to be like, dude, we don't do that. Who would do something like it? I'm like, watch your show.
But you know, and even him, he's like clearing his throat and spitting into a platoon the whole time. I was like, oh, please don't do that again. That's so gross. But
it's very gross.
It was just that character. You know, they have very fleshed out characters in this thing. But he tells them basically, hey, you need to find a knight who'll vouch for you or whatever. So he goes to see Sir Manfred Dondarrion, some descendant of the Lightning Lord from Game of Thrones, which I thought was a nice little touch. And, you know, he goes over to talk to him and, you know, let him know, hey, I'm Ser Arlan, you know, was my knight or whatever. But he runs into two prostitutes instead who says he's sleeping. And basically they're kind of teasing him a bit. And they're like, oh, you're a hedge knight. I know, no one takes you seriously. And he's just like, and then he does the thing, he's walking away and he walks the wrong way and he goes, oh, sorry. And I'm like, that's like a sitcom little thing, but they do it here. And I was like, okay, I think I'm liking this because they're just being silly. They're making him be extra. You know, I think by the time this season ends, we're going to see a completely different, you know, Sir Dunk. And I'm looking forward to it because this episode was so silly. And he was trying so hard to be a knight, and he just wasn't yet. And I thought they kind of did a good job of that.
I'm also seeing that he clearly does not have an understanding of how he's supposed to present himself in front of any kind of like nobility or speak to them in any way. Like he's you can tell he's used to just speaking casually to everybody, and I feel like that's going to cause some trouble in the future. It's
Yeah.
working out for him okay so far, but he's going to run across the wrong person.
Okay, we do have a
Yeah.
couple comments on YouTube. The Omni Prince, who's smarter, lighter L. We do have a short out about that, and
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have my thoughts on that. And Kevin Davis says HBO TV slate this year isn't strong at all. I do believe once Netflix acquires HBO Max and Warner Brothers, it will be successful with more subscribers, box office, and Dune, Messiah, Minecraft 2. I mean, I think they got some pretty good shows coming out. I mean, I'm excited about this. They got season 3 of House of the Dragon. They got Lanterns. So they got a few things.
We were just recently, prior to all of this, talking about Welcome to Derry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was an excellent program. If, seriously, I do recommend checking that out if you have not watched it already.
Definitely.
I wonder if they're going to allow like the multiple logins to go from different locations again, because they're cracking down on that, and I think that's just greed. I don't like it at all.
It is.
100%.
Well, considering how much money they're putting out to acquire this, I doubt they will.
Yeah. Spending that much money, they're not going to get less greedy.
No.
But
Yeah, and they, well, yeah.
Dunk then
Different
goes sees a little puppeteering show where he sees a fire-breathing dragon, which for those of you that don't know, this is set 70 years after House of the Dragon ends, 90 years before Game of Thrones. There are no more dragons out and about. This is post
Okay.
the last dragon dying, before Khaleesi births her dragons. So I thought that was just kind of, I wonder if it's almost the Targaryens trying to remind people, we have dragons still. This puppet will trick you. But
Right.
they're not around anymore. And I thought that was just a way to, it was almost like Fox News, just pushing out the president's agenda. It's like there's still fire-breathing dragons. They'll slaughter all of you. We brought the 7 kingdoms together with these beasts, and we'll do it again if we have to. But either way, Dunk is pretty impressed.
More on this at sundown.
And one of the actresses caught his eye.
Once again, I do think that will come into play later, and how this show is going to escalate a little bit. But then he sees a couple apple emblazoned knights and squires fighting, and he looked like he was watching them fight like, oh dear God, these guys would thrash me. Like they were, it looked like Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting on Mustafar.
Oh yeah, they were. That one guy was, I mean, just going to town, wailing on what we find out is like his cousin, and then his cousin even says, "Oh yeah, he was going easy on me." It's like, that was going easy on you, dude. He broke a fence.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
And that was Sir
That's
Stephen,
one way to learn.
Sir Stephen Fossoway. Fossoway, yes. And his cousin Squire Raymond. And so then Dunk goes and takes a bath out in the lake or a river or something, cleaning himself up nicely. And when he comes back,
Clothes still smell,
yes,
which the prostitutes had earlier made fun of.
yes. But he comes back and Raymond invites him to Sir Lyonel Baratheon's tent. And he has never experienced, obviously has never experienced anything like this, because he's just like, he picks up the biggest leg thing, he's chowing it, he's like, but I love too when he said, hey, you want to come to the tent, are you hungry? Always.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to stop joking about how big he actually is,
No.
and I'm all for it.
I was sitting here thinking, if they had made this show in like the 70s or 80s, they would have cast Andre the Giant, and that would have been perfect.
At least, like as you'll say in a minute when he talks to Mr. Lionel there, he's very open to. He's like a yes man in this. Like anytime somebody says, "Hey, you want to do this?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
I ain't got nothing else going on. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Dave said, Lionel, someone with his party calls him over, and at first he's kind of like really genuinely shocked, like, "Wait, you want to talk to me?" Oh, okay. And he goes over, and he's like, "What did you bring me? You must bring me a gift." And he's just like, he goes, "That guy doesn't have a piss to pot in, and he brought me this knife or whatever." And he's like, I'm just kidding you. What are you doing here, though? Are you either here to kill me, or? And he's like, supper? And they're just like,
Sure.
hey.
That makes sense. Of course you would.
And it's like his honesty and just, sincereness and such naive about everything going on. Like he would have been, if he would have been on Game of Thrones season 1, he would have been destroyed within 5 minutes.
Oh,
because he's not playing the great game. He has I just want to be a knight. I want to help people. I want to help weaker people, and I want to do things. And he has no clue about all the politics and stuff that's going on. But
you know what's funny is that he's so big. His name is Dunk, but I'm like, is he Dunk Clegane? Because he's so huge.
Oh my God, that would be a twist if we found out later he is a Clegane.
That he's related to them, yeah.
That would be crazy.
That would be fantastic. But he ends up, dancing with them, and he's trying to stomp his feet, and they're stomping feet back and forth. I was like watching the scene too, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. Because
I'm like, I think Lionel's flirting with him. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on here, but like, seriously, as you said, he's able to so far kind of get away with just being himself, speaking off the cuff, and Lyonel Baratheon clearly is fine with it. He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll shoot the shit. We'll dance. You come and eat my food, whatever. Great. I guarantee if he tried that in front of like a Lannister or somebody who had, sniffed their own farts and thought they were more important than everybody else, yeah, it's probably not going to go quite as well.
Yeah, that fits right with the family line on this show, how the Baratheons would act.
Yeah.
And Bobcat Driver 6930 said, the only thing that bothered me, and it's a tiny, tiny nitpick, were how many characters had northern accents when we are meant to be in the Reach, which is in the South. It really bugged me, LOL. You know what?
I did not even pick up on that.
Yeah,
Good for you, man.
That.
Yeah, me neither. Now it's going to bother me, though. No, I'm just
kidding.
Right? Hey, you know what? We all have those little things that bother us for whatever reason. So, obviously you said it was your only nitpick, so you must have enjoyed it. I thought it was, pretty good too. But, he ends up sitting. He's got Lionel's crown on at one point. And he's talking to him at the end of the night. And, he just, I loved it too. Oh, what do you think my chances are to win? 0.
None.
You're not going to win. And he's like, I don't even have the coin to get my horses back. And Lionel's like, I don't even know what to say right now. What huh?
Right.
Like, he goes from a
What
rich
are you
family.
doing here? How did you accident your way here?
He's just more mesmerized by how this person showed up in his tent.
Right.
And he's not wearing his crown, but he's got nothing. It was funny. And to me, it was very endearing.
So far, multiple people have pointed out, hey, so like, where's your armor? Oh, you have none. Oh, I noticed your belt is literally a rope. Hey, dude.
As long as it
Why
holds
do
up
you
my
present
scabbard.
as a farmer?
Right, yeah. You're a farmer. I'm a knight. I'm a real knight.
The best knight. I'm going to take everyone down.
Who
But
saw you get knighted? Oh, Robin in a tree.
Right. That I saw while I was furiously shitting into the air.
But then he
So
goes
we
outside
don't-
and he sees Manfred, who he asks, hey, do you know Ser Arlan Pennytree? He was wounded in your service. And he's like, we had thousands of knights. I don't know that person. People gave a lot more than a wound in that battle, and I don't remember them. Which, of course, this is probably some lesser lord who doesn't give a crap. All he cares about is his whores and his mead and ale and everything else. So, he doesn't find it there, doesn't vouch for him, and he ends up going back to his camp, and Egg is there. And Egg has completed all the things he needs to do, which I think Dunk was kind of impressed but weirded out a bit too.
Yeah.
Like, why are you following me, kid? Like, what's going on? He hasn't realized yet this kid talks so well, knows how to do all these things. He's not a normal, flea bottom scavenger you would find out in the world, but I think he's going to figure it out pretty quick. And of course, to end the show, they see a shooting star. And Egg's explaining, everyone else is under their tents basically, and we may be the only ones who saw it. And Dunk's like, oh, so we're the only ones with any luck? he's like all excited, like taking it serious. And
I like how they get to this point too. How Egg, points out. So I went ahead, I brushed your horses, I caught some fish, and I was gonna set up your tent, but you don't seem to have one of those either. So and Dunk's like, we sleep under the stars. The tree will be covered. Tree's leak, dude.
Yeah. What if it rains? Well, we'll be fine on the tree.
Right.
Trees leak. But as you saw in the opening scene, he doesn't mind getting rained on.
Clearly not.
yeah, not even a bit. But I wanted to talk about. We talked about how the puppeteer and him kind of caught eyes and everything.
Oh yeah, you've got a theory, right?
I wonder if someone's going to, and perhaps this is me weaving a little bit, a Targaryen is going to show up at this tournament. They are going to treat her less than nobly, and Dunk is going to step up and defend her honor.
Ooh.
And he's going to get himself in a little trouble. And the reason I say a Targaryen is going to show up and do this is because I think that's when we find out in this series who Egg really is. Egg is going to step up for Dunk and explain, hey, I'm Aemon Targaryen. He was doing what was right to defend this maiden, but I think that's where the trouble is going to start for Dunk, and I think he's going to have to prove himself, down the line because of all this. Just this one little thing kind of tipping that way.
Well, that's not very lighthearted.
No, it is not. No, it is not. I have a feeling the lightheartedness might be over probably next episode. I think they set.
So
this
what,
up.
you think that was a just in this episode and the tone is going to shift starting with the next episode?
Slowly
just
start
slowly?
shifting the next episode.
Huh.
I think we're going to get. It's still going to have some lighthearted moments. I think especially the banter between Dunk and Egg, but I think it is going to start taking a more serious tone with things going on, because I think Dunk is a very by the book. What's right is right. I'm a knight. I protect the weak and do all this stuff. That's going to get him in trouble because he's not going to care who is doing the bad thing. He's going to step up and defend other people. He's not going to understand the political aspects of standing up to a Targaryen and, defending a lowly, puppeteer or whatever. And that's going to get him in trouble.
And he's got an idea of what a knight should be anyway. So
Yes. Yep.
it's like preconceived notion. So yeah, I can say that.
Because we saw even like when he's in Lyonel Baratheon's camp, he's never experienced anything like that. It's, chaos and full of energy, and, Dunk is used to sleeping outside and walking and talking to his horses and everything else. I mean, everything about this camp is new to him, or the city, I should say, in the tournament and what's going on. And it seems like it's probably a pretty big tournament in the sense that we're going to get, bigger parties coming here. And I don't know which Targaryens will show up, but it'll be interesting.
Now, that's not the way to hook me. If that's what they're going to do, that's why I wasn't hooked with the first show. Because if it turns into a show that I was expecting after starting it off this way, that's really kind of not the way to hook me on the show. You know what I mean?
I agree. I feel the same way. If you're going to present the show as one thing, I would rather they just accept that that's the tone they want to go with and stick with that for the entirety of the series.
See, I'm fine with that because it shows just what kind of. He's a brand new knight. He was probably never in any major cities, never did anything of great importance.
He's in the maiden pool.
Okay, yes. And, I think it's going to get more serious as we go. It started out a little lighter just to show his, humble beginnings and his, how innocent he really is and his naive about the goings on in this city. But I think it's going to change and he's going to get more confidence. And it's going to change quite a bit. And for me, that's fine because as long as it's showing that character, progression, and it's not just used as, some silliness to have a funny episode or whatever. But I think the lightheartedness will still stick because he's not going to be, some
You just don't think
knight.
it's going to be as prevalent as it was in this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're going to get a little more serious about things because there's probably... I can't imagine George R. R. Martin writing a story without it having some death and, you know, stakes and everything else, because everything he does always has deeper meaning and ramifications for what they do. Like, we may find out now, this isn't a theory, but if he does end up, like, killing a Targaryen,
Mm-hmm.
the ramifications of that throughout the entire Seven Kingdoms could be heard. You know, there was some Hedge Knight that killed a Targaryen, and people will be mad and maybe hunting after him, or some people wanting to meet him and bring him up and bring him into their fold. You know, they really got a lot of different ways they can go with this, and just by making him, he's almost a Captain America in the Seven Kingdoms. He knows what's right, and he's going to do it no matter what, because that's what he thinks a knight does. He hasn't been poisoned with, well, you know what, that's a Lannister, so you got to treat him different, or that's, you know, a Baratheon, or that's a Stark, or any of those things. He's going to see him as, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it no matter what.
I like it.
You know, I just found out that they made Duncan egg graphic novels.
Yeah, yep.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
That's for people like me who need pictures.
Yeah, totally not me. That's why I was not looking that up.
I mean, clearly I need pictures.
We all do.
Yeah, I don't though. No,
It'll just be interesting to see how soon Dunk finds out who Egg really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was trying.
So, what is your what's next on how he does in this tournament? Do you think Lyonel is correct in that he has a 0 chance of winning?
I don't think he will even participate in the tournament.
Ooh, you think that this maybe an encounter might? Okay.
I think him defending someone against someone of substance or a notoriety in this kingdom is going to happen before the tournament starts, so he won't even be a part of it.
Forgot what I was going to say. Who doesn't he need a sponsorship? Isn't that why he was going to the other night?
Yes.
Or
yes.
This guy. So I don't think he's going to get a sponsorship either. Anyway.
I do.
Okay.
If it comes to that, I think Lyonel Baratheon might do it for him.
Oh well, yeah. After the night they had together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may. I don't think it's going to get there, but if it does, I think we got a good chance of that.
So we got
that's
a
right.
comment.
Yeah, Bobcat Driver. Good point. The Targaryens are not in a strong political position at this point in history. They just staved off the rebellion 13 years prior from within their own family, the first Blackfire rebellion.
Okay.
That's true. Which may mean I didn't say it was the king or anything, but there's a lot of Targaryens going around there. So I wonder if it could be something where a minor Targaryen lord or something shows up. And once again, it doesn't have to be a Targaryen. I just thought it made the most sense with us knowing who Egg is.
And I'll tell you what,
they might recognize him.
Their name is probably Aemon, Aegon, or Viserys. One of the three.
Or it's going to be something like that. But
Yeah.
he may even get
Something we're
into
going to be like, I know I've heard that name like 14 times already.
Right. Are you that same guy? No, that's not me.
It could even be with Sir Stefan, the guy who was beating up his squire early on. He may see him abusing somebody. He may step up to do it. I just think at some point there's going to have to be a Targaryen that reveals who Egg is.
Probably.
I don't know how that's going to
Another comment from Bobcat Driver says Ashford is a backwater town in the Reach, but the Targaryens still feel like they need to be present at this tourney to curry favor and strengthen alliances. They feel extremely vulnerable. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, especially considering what you had said prior to that, where, they just got over a rebellion. So, yeah, I kind of feel like you're going to have one or two of them popping up to, make sure they remind everybody, like what Keith was talking about with the dragon, the puppet dragon. It's their little propaganda moment, like, just remind you guys, we're in charge. We're the kings and queens of your land. So you have to respect us.
Remember when we came through here with dragons? We'll do it again.
Yeah,
Please don't.
We
call
might
our
still
bluff.
have a couple.
Please don't.
We
call
might
our
still
bluff.
have a couple.
Please don't call our bluff.
mean,
Right.
they're kind of like the Freys, Walder Frey, the Frey family.
Yeah.
They're there, but they're incompetent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Are they in this area? Right? Is that the same area? You said the Reach,
No,
right?
I don't.
Here's Harrenhal in the Reach. I don't have the map in my brain.
No, I think you're right. I think Harrenhal is in the Reach,
Yeah, I think so.
and this would be prior to probably it being a ghost town, basically. Oh no, it was already a ghost town in House of the Dragon. I always get those timelines confused.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right, Dave. That's a good call. But yeah, that's I enjoyed it. Those are that's how I think this show is going to start ramping.
Harrenhal's in the Riverlands, he says.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. I remember that, yeah.
We appreciate it, Bobcat Driver.
Keeping us honest.
That's right.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's about all I got. I don't know if you guys have any what's nexuses that
No.
you guys think is coming, or I was kind of shocked.
Just
This was
like-
kind of a short episode too. It was only
Yeah,
like
it did feel
40
kind of
minutes.
short. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
my Clegane aspect. Other than that, I didn't think about the show too much because it just threw me off. I that's not what I was expecting, and it kind of threw me.
Yeah, I saw the 40-minute, timer on the, when I got ready to start the episode. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I'll, just sit down, enjoy, watching an episode. And it seemed over just as soon as I started. Like, it did move quick. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It just kind of took me by surprise. Because usually, for some reason, when I'm watching Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, it seems like it's got more... just more to it, more substance to it, more length to it, even though like it's probably the same.
Well, it just feels like the stakes are greater. I mean,
Yeah, I guess that too. Maybe that was part of it.
yeah,
And everything on Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, everything that they say is layered in innuendo. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're suggesting something with everything they say, and they might not be saying it.
Well, since Dunk doesn't know any of that stuff,
Right. He doesn't. So
he's going to say exactly what he thinks.
Right.
that will get him in trouble. Now, before we rate it, I got something that I saw, which this is
Ooh, all right.
via the Hollywood Reporter. George R.R. Martin has given the showrunner 12 unpublished Duncan egg stories to use.
Wow.
Because as he put
Okay.
it, we wouldn't necessarily run into the same trouble as the flagship did. He basically doesn't want another season 8 of Game of Thrones to ever
Right.
happen
So
again.
they'll never have material that they're going to run out of.
Yes.
They should have plenty. And honestly, it's probably much easier for him to, like crap out a couple more novellas of this stuff. It's probably nice, easy, lighthearted, not as many stakes that he can, he's I don't even know if he's ever going to come out with the final actual book of Song of Ice and Fire.
Well, he's not.
I
even
read
done
this
with-
week that he's got plans for that. Like, if he doesn't finish it by the time he dies, he's got other people ready to write it.
Really? Do you really think he's just going to wait on that?
Like he
Kind of like wait it
handpicked
out and be
them.
like, I'm not going to bother. I've got other people.
No, like if he died.
Yeah, I know that if he died, but do you think he's put that plan into place knowing that I'm not going to finish it?
That would be a cheesy way to do it. That'd be like, just let myself off the hook right there.
Right?
I don't like that.
It seems I think about this a lot of the times. When A Dance with Dragons came out, I was working at my last job. I've been at this job over 12 years. It has been a long while since that last book came out. And, it should have been out by now, but I think it keeps writing it. I think the show's epic fail in that last season and a half or so, he is worried about finishing and writing it. Because, the dude's a prolific. He has 12 unpublished Duncan egg stories that he was just sitting on that he gave for the show. And, he helps write with House of the Dragon. He doesn't have a good, he's not good with that show right now. The showrunners, their relationship is kind of broken off, which
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was reading about it when
Yeah,
I
I
was
read
reading
that this
about
week too.
this, so I'm like, okay. But, dude just writes all the time. I mean, I think he honestly probably has it done, and I keep thinking that at some point he'll just be like, I just got to do it and I'm going to get it done, because he doesn't want to happen what happened with the Wheel of Time series. Robert Jordan was like 10 books in and he died. And they brought on Sanderson. I forget his first name now. It's not Matthew Sanderson. But they brought in another writer, and I still remember, I've read all these books and I really enjoyed them. And he came on and he's like, listen, I read all the notes that Robert Jordan wrote to finish this up. He goes, I can't finish it in 2 books. And I was like, oh God, cash grab here. But all the books that Sanderson wrote were fantastic.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. I was like, okay, this guy, he wasn't joking. He had read it and was like, okay, I can do it, but it's going to be like 4 books. And I still remember the final battle chapter in the last book was like 200 pages. I've never read a 200-page chapter before, but it was great. And maybe, I think as long as he has everything in place, someone could come and finish it up, but I hope he does it himself, because he needs to. The book series was so fantastic, and it'd be a shame if he didn't finish it up.
Yeah, see, that was the other thing I was going to say, is that he was having relationship problems with the showrunner for House of the Dragon. He said he used to give him, like, they used to give him notes and he would take it and then he would go, like, all right, we're going to change this and we're going to do this. Now he gives him notes, and then now the showrunner makes him submit them to Warner Brothers first.
What?
And then Warner Brothers goes to him and then he says, all right, thanks. And then he doesn't know if he's going to change it or not.
Yeah, he hears nothing back. Yeah.
I wonder if they did that on purpose because the showrunners got tired of, like, oh, well, I want this change, I want that done different. Maybe they've got their own ideas in mind and they want to veer away from George's writings, would be my guess.
Or they're really big fans of the books and they're like, stop sending us notes, write your books.
I mean, I could see it if him being like that, and they could just say, all right, we're not going to use that, but thank you for the notes. But it seems like there's an animosity there when you read something like that. You know what I mean?
It does seem like there's something happened that they're probably not talking about that brought this about, but I thought the same thing. Dave, should we rate this first episode?
I think we should. And while we're doing that, if those of you that are in the chat want to also give it a rating while we're talking about ours, we do it on a scale of 10, with 5 being average. So let us know in the chat what your rating is of this first episode, and I'll turn it over to Dave.
All right. Well, like I said, the show caught me off guard. The opening scene, I thought, like Doug, this is going to be heavy. He's in the very first scene, he's burying a dead man. All right, so we're starting off
in
hard.
The rain.
in the rain, and with the 3 horses that he talks to, and it's, I don't know. I was like, this is gonna be cool, and then it got funny. It got, well, not laugh out loud funny, I guess, but just goofy, and really threw me off. The rest of the show, I was trying to adjust to it. I think my favorite part of the show was Lyonel Baratheon. He's probably my favorite in the show. As far as the acting and everything else, the set, obviously, the Game of Thrones feel was there. The acting was good. It's just not what I expected. So I'm not gonna give it a high rating. I hope it grows on me, and I hope maybe Keith's right and it gets a little more serious, because Game of Thrones comedy shows is not what you expect. So I'm only going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6, and I think that's being generous.
No, I get it. I liked this episode. I thought it shocked me too. I did not expect it to be what we got, but I still enjoyed it. And I see things being set up, and the acting is good. I mean, the sets look good. Everything about it is interesting to me in where they're going. But I also don't think this is like, episode 8 of season 2 of Andor. This has not gotten to that point yet. You need to build up to things like that. And I think this came in and did a pretty good job of setting up the main characters and getting us where we need to be to start having the stakes rise and have, the tension, ramp up a bit. So I'm going to give this a 7 even. It was good. I liked it. But they've got work to do to really make this first season, be memorable.
I swear I did not. This was unplanned, but my rating is actually right in the middle of the two of you.
No way.
I had no idea. I, I expected you, Keith, honestly, to rate it much higher. I had no idea. But yeah, I'm like Dave said, very similar boat. I was kind of thrown off guard. I didn't expect this to have more of these lighthearted, sort of goofy elements added in. It did take me a bit by surprise. But yeah, I don't hate it. Once I realized that that was kind of the direction they're going in, I just sort of accepted it. And in all honesty, I hope they don't change that. I kind of hope they keep it that way. Like, I'm not mad at it. You can have, you can have a show that is set in the same universe, but with a different tone. I just kind of hope they stick with it. And honestly, my explanation of this would be that it could be very similar to The Boys in a way, where, they do have their serious moments, they do have tackle serious subjects, but it's so outlandish how they do everything. And I feel like this show is probably, in my opinion, I think it's going to be very similar in that aspect. I think they are going to, you know, have your normal Game of Thrones deaths and horrible things happening, people lit on fire and mutilation and whatever. But I think they're going to intermix it with a lot more lighthearted elements. That's just based on this episode. And yeah, so far I like all the characters. It felt short, even though it wasn't. But I guess, on the positive end of that, it did not feel long. It didn't feel overly long, like it overstayed its welcome. It was just a good, fun episode. And once I understood, the tone that they were going for, I accepted it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. And yeah, the scenery is good. You can tell they're still pumping money into this stuff. It clearly still had a good budget. The costumes were great. The acting was pretty good. I did not, as the one person in our chat pointed out, I did not notice that there was like a difference in the accents. I did not pick up on that. But yeah, also like Dave, I thought Lyonel was probably one of the best characters. Definitely good for some laughs. And Dunk just kind of, bopping around, doing his thing, speaking off the cuff, not knowing, how to play the Game of Thrones, so to speak, is great. I want to see more of that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. But this one, I'm going to rate it a 6.5 out of 10. It was unusual. It threw me off. I did not expect this, as Dave put it, it's a downpour of rain. We're burying a former knight, and he's so broken up. He says, I don't even know what words should be said. There really should be, somebody from the church or whatever here, from the sept, to say these words. And you think this is going to be, another serious entry into the Game of Thrones, world. And then he air shits behind a tree. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, I had fun with it. It was a fine show, but as of right now, 6.5 out of 10. Hopefully it improves. We'll see.
Yeah, good first episode, and I think we all agree that Lyonel Targaryen was the best character. He was.
Oh yeah.
Did not expect that to be that way. But everyone out in the chat, what do you guys think? Give it a score 1 to 10. Let us know what you think. If you've read the books, please no spoilers. We don't want to do any spoilers here, but let us know what you thought of this adaptation. Now, we do have some news and notes.
Ooh, all right.
This is going to be very DC Studios heavy tonight. It's almost all DC Studios because James Gunn was active on Threads. And we have one Marvel one. So we'll jump into our DC Studio. So there was a lot.
Okay.
James Gunn has come out and said all of the rumors about Batman and Wonder Woman auditions and them being cast are false.
Kind of figured. Okay. No
Yep.
surprise
I
there.
like how he sets people straight. I
Yep.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
He said the big news about Man of Tomorrow was the appearance of Brainiac. Aside from that, most of the major cast and characters we've already met. They are currently casting smaller roles, with one exception.
Okay.
He did not confirm this, but they are now saying, Dave, I have my finger on the button. They're saying that Maxima will appear. That's one of the people being cast for Man of Tomorrow.
Maxima from episode 8 of season 8 of Smallville.
And he knew the season and episode.
Yes, sir.
I had no doubts. But he also said there are no updates on the Brave and the Bold, or there will be no updates on the Brave and the Bold until the script is finished. It is not done yet. He does not want it to clash with the Batman Part 2. He basically said, I don't want to cloud the Bat Sphere until the Batman 2. So if you hear anything about Brave and the Bold prior to the Batman Part 2 coming out, it's probably BS.
So that's at least 2 years.
Yes, it sounds that way, yeah. So we may get hints of Batman here and there like we did in Creature Commandos, but Brave and the Bold is a ways off. But he did say many DCU projects are close to being greenlit, and there is one unknown project that has already been. We don't know what that is.
It's going to be Man-Bat. That's what it's going to be.
That's right. 100%. But he also did update Dynamic Duo, which is that animated film with Batman and Robin. He said is not being rewritten, and the film is progressing really well, and it is not a part of the DCU. It is an Elseworlds film.
That's going to, I mean, to us, great. I think it's going to confuse a lot of people, though. They have so many Elseworlds going. They got 2 other Elseworlds going. And
Yeah,
people are going to, I know they're going to ask me when Batman 2 comes out, how does this fit into the Superman stuff? I'll be like, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
But I know I'm going to get that question.
I would say, Dave, that couldn't happen. But the fact that so many people think the Sony movies are part of the MCU, that yes, it will happen all the time.
Keith,
Including,
Sony thinks they're part of the MCU, okay?
I was going to say, including Dakota Johnson. That's why she did the movie.
We're in the MCU. Did you know that? We're basically in the MCU.
We are definitely a part of it. Phase 6. Madam Web. Wrap it up, people. But then he also, this is kind of a little disappointing news.
Okay.
There won't be a trailer for Clayface for the next couple of months. James Gunn still hasn't seen the film yet, which is in its first cut, but it is still scheduled for release in September.
Nice.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not mad at that because we're getting flooded with so much doomsday trailers and teasers and stories and whatever the hell else they want to call them that, you know what? I'll wait for a trailer. I'm good. I can be patient.
Yeah. You know, bring it out when nothing else is going on. We'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe show these other studios how to do things. It's like,
nice.
chill.
And then, of course, the last thing he said, well, he said they won't have 2 Batman movies coming out in the same year, which
Smart.
hits with what Dave was saying. We get the Batman Part 2 in 2026, probably Dynamic Duo in 2027, which means Brave and the Bold probably at the earliest is coming out 2028.
That makes sense. And that's probably the best way to do this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Limit the amount of confusion that you can as much as possible, like right out the gate. And hey, Sierra joined us on Twitch.
Oh, welcome, Sierra.
Welcome. Yes.
Did you watch A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms yet, young lady?
She did not. We talked about this before we went on the air. She did not.
Excellent. Well, then you can listen to our wonderful news and notes. Of course, he did then say he's going back to working on his storyboards for Man of Tomorrow, which begins filming in April. So, cool Cool. Now, other Batman news. You guys are like, more Batman. We talked about Batman Part 2, Brave and the Bold, and Dynamic Duo. But you guys may have forgotten, like I did. There's an Amazon show, Batman Caped Crusader.
I guess I didn't realize they were going to make another season of that. I thought it was kind of a one-shot.
According to the voice actor for Batman, Season 2 is set for a 2026 return.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take that.
I thought
that was
about
a good
that
show.
as much as I thought about Nick Cage playing Spider
Noir.
whatever Spider. Yeah, Noir.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when is it? God, I forgot about that happening too.
You know what? I don't think I've seen a release date on it.
Yeah, I thought it was originally coming out this year, but then I haven't heard anything.
I think it is coming out this year. We'll have to look that up. But that's all of our.
What happened to Sir Knight? Look on the screen. Sir Knight is gone.
What screen?
Doug.
Oh my God, he is. Where did he go? Doug. Sir Douglas.
That doesn't look like a knight. He's all dressed up in a suit. What's going on here?
Well, we will transition to our. Oh, thank God, there he is. We were worried, Doug.
I had to get more mead. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was feeling sober.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay.
I hadn't had a drink yet.
Now a few Marvel ones. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
I don't think this will be a big surprise. An X-Force project is reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. It could be one of the untitled films in development dedicated. Oh my God. Let me say that again. An X-Force project is in development at Marvel Studios, and it is probably one of the untitled films in development based on the.
Was that so exciting that it took your breath away?
It was, yes. Either that or I'm slowly dying. I'm not sure.
Is it going to have Deadpool and Domino in it, and what the Shatterstar?
Probably. And Brad Pitt
hold on.
as the Vanisher.
Before we answer, Keith, how did you open that up again? Say the opening part of that sentence one more time.
An X-Force project is reportedly in the works at Marvel
And
Studios.
has it been written, cast?
It has none of those things yet.
Oh, so this ain't happening. That's what's happening.
It could happen, but I think this is another one of those things. You know, we should maybe do an X-Force film. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We should probably figure out what we're going to do.
And then all of a sudden the rumor bug starts spreading. Oh my God, they're making X-Force! And Blade! Still.
Yeah,
And
that's
Tatiana Maslany's in it, too. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
And Michael Pena as well, along with Oscar Isaac. Those are the top three.
Definitely. They're in
That are
it.
going to be in it.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Each one of those actors has walked away from Disney.
So, the last little bit. Our last thing to discuss this evening. The Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer could release any day.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that even mean? Could release any day. Between when and when?
Guess what?
Any
that
day.
doesn't change anything.
I know.
It could have released any day before.
I love when I read stuff like that because they're like, oh, just heard. Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is completed and it'll release any day. Well, of course it's going to
Imagine
release
if we
any
wrote
day.
articles like that where everything was just like, it could be, maybe, possibly, who's to say?
At some point, there will be a trailer.
Right.
Thank you. That's great.
And then we'll be at the movie like, they never dropped a trailer for this.
They're going to drop the trailer a month after it's been in theaters. Now stay tuned. It'll be like that. Oh my God. It'll be like that prequel Ghostbusters comic that came out a month after the movie came out.
Oh
And it's
my
like,
God, that's right.
what was the thought process behind this marketing?
That would be great.
What a prophet you are to say that there will be a trailer for a movie that's coming out this year. That's crazy.
And we still haven't gotten the
We're
Daredevil
still-
Born Again Season 2 one. They've been talking about that dropping any day now. It's almost February.
Yeah, we're only a month and a half away from that.
Yeah, weird.
I wonder if it's going to wait till after Wonder Man's out. Just because, I mean, they've been ramping up the Wonder Man marketing. You know, we get little half trailers, scenes, posters, all the stuff. So I wonder if they're just waiting till that's done.
Websites and everything.
Well, Wonder Man is actually in Daredevil season 2, and they didn't want you to know it until you've seen the Wonder Man show.
Okay.
So they won't release a trailer until after one.
There's going to be one scene where Daredevil, Matt Murdock, he's got Wonder Man playing on his TV. He can't see it, obviously, but, you know, it's on for the background noise.
Yep.
He's like, I love
That's
this
it.
show. That would be the best.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all we got tonight, folks.
That's all right. We usually do our roundup once a week, so we have less material because we're on twice a week now again, folks.
That's
And
right.
don't-
That's right.
Don't forget to tune in this Thursday when we talk about the most excellent series, Fallout.
You know, we've talked about things like that before, and I do think being like so deep into Fallout Season 2 that watching a pilot for another show, you felt like there was a little drop off because we got so many things going on in this, and this is just starting to build up, you know, those plot threads and stuff. Because I was thinking the same thing. It's like I finished it, and I'm like, oh, cool. God, I can't wait till Wednesday. Oh, my God. Especially, I'm still like freaking out about the thought of Fallout 3 remade, Fallout New Vegas remade, and whatever, you know, whatever we're going to hear from Bethesda about the Fallout games, because I don't know when I'll be able to play them, but I will definitely be buying both remake when they drop.
Did you hear about the nonsense extra stuff that they included with the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition?
No, I saw that they had one and it said all the DLC and stuff, but what else did they have?
Yeah. So first off, they patched it, which broke all the mods and apparently overclocks your computer. So that's fun.
Thanks, that's cool.
Yeah, right. And then they included the thing that everybody has been, you know, just demanding, and that is armor for the Brahmins.
Finally. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. Cow armor. That's what everybody wanted. Made out of like old street signs and stuff. Just
Well,
like, that is
people
that
were
is exactly the type of thing Bethesda would do.
well, people were super excited when horse armor came out for you know, Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. God. So yeah, I shouldn't be surprised by any of it.
Me, you know, it's something else I hate to admit. You know what I've been doing a lot of in my spare time?
No.
Watching videos of Star Wars Genesis. The Starfield mod that they created. It looks awesome.
I heard it's amazing. I haven't watched any videos on it yet.
Like, they have redone everything. Like, even the controls on your ship look like Star Wars ships now instead of Starfield ships. And I was watching one guy, he created a Gungan bounty hunter.
Uh-huh.
I forgot what we call it, like Murder Only or something. And
Wow.
but there's all these missions, all these planets. And he said they're still adding, like they're coming up with the ability to use lightsabers here coming up in a couple weeks.
Nice.
I know. And it's like,
They're basically making an entirely different game out of this engine.
yeah. And
God,
like,
I love the modding community. They're great.
yeah, I don't know how much, I don't know if people make any money off this, but like all the weapons.
Generally, no.
Yeah, exactly. All the weapons have been changed to Star Wars weapons. And like all the planets, like Kashyyyk is being built out. The Tatooine obviously is there because everything happens on Tatooine for some reason. Hoth is there. It's crazy. But of course, it's also like 100 gigabyte mod. So,
That sounds about right.
yep.
Yeah, the closest that any of these folks ever get to like making any money off of doing this kind of stuff is when Bethesda launched their creation club for Skyrim and for Fallout. They they specifically hired on people from the modding community to make the creation club content. So you've got, big names that are in the Fallout modding community, like a person by the name of Eleonora, now making official Bethesda licensed mods to sell in their creation club, and then obviously they get paid for the work that they did making
Oh,
this stuff.
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hopefully they get a cut
yeah.
of whatever it sells for.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because I'm
But
sure,
yeah, as far as like the stuff that they just do on their own, no, that's
yeah,
all
it's usually
for the
downloads
lowest
with a
end, I
little
guess.
donate button. Please donate if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, there you
People
go.
like,
Yeah.
I don't see anything on there. There's nothing on the screen.
Like the guy who invented the microwave, and he got paid $2 for his invention.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But should we find someone to raid?
I think so.
Bubble's gone.
What's
She
that?
was sick. I felt bad.
Oh.
I was watching her when, because anyone who's playing Fallout, I'll usually end up watching. But yeah, she didn't feel well, so I'm not surprised she's off.
Well, what about Patastic P, along with a couple of other people? They're playing Baldur's Gate 3, which
I
is a
see.
fun sort of like a D&D fantasy style game.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we don't have to do Fallout tonight.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's Miss Lala VT is playing Fallout 76, but don't you guys not like? Which ones don't you like?
76. Personally, I don't like it because it's a multiplayer game and it's online only. I don't know. I don't like that. I want a single player story driven, narrative. I don't know. I've never really liked like the run and gun shooter Call of Duties, that kind of stuff. I'm not really into that.
The only like online game I like to play was Battlefront, the Star Wars one.
For me, the only game that I liked playing was it was like very similar to Doom, but it was like a multiplayer. It was, oh man, I can't even remember the name of it now, but I would play that one quite a bit online, and Carmageddon. I would race with other people. But that was pretty much it. I tried playing one of the oh gosh, years ago. I tried playing some game on my PlayStation 3. When they introduced like online play for that, and I was playing. Immediately started off, did not know like what to expect, and I'm killed immediately. I'm like, oh, cool. So people are just like sitting around spawn points waiting. Nice. I don't want to do this anymore.
For me too, it's especially in the Fallout world. I play so slowly because I check every little. I'm in an abandoned building. I check every room.
I'm exploring everything. I'm reading all the notes, all the terminals, and now if I have to stand in line to read the note on the table because somebody else is there.
Well, I bet the programmers really appreciate that because there's a lot of detail that goes into that. They need players like you guys.
You would think that, but there were actually apparently two schools of thought when it came to Fallout 4. I found this out like years after the fact. There were a lot of the game designers, the story designers that were frustrated that people didn't find out about the thing that they left or the story that they told, and it just went by undiscovered. And so apparently the decision was like, out of all the missions and everything that they originally had planned for the game, they ended up scrapping almost over 25% of it.
Dang.
To shorten it down, make it, take some of the superfluous, story elements and everything. So apparently there was like this entire plan for an underwater vault, and like they were going to add in all of these giant like sea creatures that you would have to fight and everything, and they scrapped that entire thing. So yeah, I understand from a certain aspect how some of them might be like, what's the point? Why should I bother putting all this work into it if people aren't even going to discover it? But that's honestly, I feel like they should put that stuff in anyway, because how many people play games like this one time and then that's it? Most folks are playing it multiple times, especially because there are multiple endings to discover.
Yeah.
And every single time you'll stumble on something new. Did you know, Keith, that there is a moonshiner hut in Fallout 4 that you can stumble upon?
No.
And the minute you get close to it, it blows up. So I'm
Well, that
just like,
sounds
I'm,
fun.
you know, la 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 la, I'm bopping around. Here I go. Oh, hey, what's this shack over here? Boom! My character's flying, rag down, and reload. I'm like, oh God, did I save?
So you can't get
Dude.
to it without it blowing up. Because I would be like frustrated, like, oh, what I do wrong? Maybe I have to come at it from a different angle, and it won't blow
No,
up.
no,
And it just
blows
keep
up
blowing
every
up,
time.
and pretty soon I'll be like, stupid thing! It just always blows me up.
I
It's the
looked it up and I'm
Fallout
like, what the hell is
equivalent.
this?
It's the Fallout equivalent of a cliff for Keith.
Yeah, yeah. I looked it up after thought, what the hell is a shack? I'm thinking, did I add this in accidentally as a mod or something? No, that's part of the base game. They did this on purpose. And you know what? Cool. I want more stuff like that. Put it in. Give me all the, your crazy little side story things.
Well,
And
especially
you've
them
already got
saying,
aliens in there, you know?
them saying that Fallout 5 was going to take what 600 hours or something. He's going to be a character
Yeah.
in Fallout 5.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll be shooting the fat boys every 5 seconds.
He wants to fire off a fat boy or two when I get the Fallout
Okay.
3 remake. You want to shoot mini nukes at people?
Yes. I want to shoot 500. I will install a mod so I can shoot 500 every second.
That would mean you would need like a couple thousand to keep shooting them.
No. It also has infinite ammo. I will install that if there's a mod.
Well, on that note, let's raid Potastic P, playing a little Baldur's Gate 3.
All right. Do you want to check and make sure we can first?
We can. I just
Okay,
did.
cool.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. Well, I didn't want to stumble into what happened last time.
No, I
And
get it.
for those of you wondering, what are they even talking about? Rating is just a little something you can do on Twitch. It's where instead of ending the stream and, saying goodnight, we move on and we go hang out with another streamer. In this case, we're going to go check out what Potastic P and their friends are doing, playing Baldur's Gate 3. Unfortunately, there's not an easy way to do anything quite like that on YouTube. So if you are watching us on YouTube, first off, thank you. We love that you joined us. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe. If you are watching us after the fact on mobile, don't forget about the hype feature. Really cool new feature that YouTube has put out there for smaller channels like us. But most important, we want to hear from you. Get into those comments. We want to hear from you. What did you think? Comment down below. And as usual, we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.